So, in response of the video that I posted on Facebook, for one, apparently I lost people's interest. My first video about the whole police issue, I lost interest. I guess I droned on a little bit too much because I had almost 30 views. However, not one single like or sad face or angry face or nothing. Like, no comments, nothing. I mean, I wasn't necessarily looking for attention, but I wanted to get my opinion out there. I mean, nobody even wanted to dispute my opinions about it or anything. Which I don't mind engaging in an intelligent argument. If you have an opposing opinion about something, I'd really like to hear it. It may change my view about something, or you may have different information than I do, and you know, that may change my view on something. I mean, that's the way the world works, you know. I'm always alright with pointing out when I'm wrong. Or if I feel that I'm in the wrong, I'll say, you know what you said makes sense. So yeah, maybe I was wrong with that. The video I posted, I admitted that I was not fully educated on the issue. The reason for that was because I caught the ass end of the news report. And, most of the time that I've been awake this whole week, I've had my son, and he's only 9 years old. And I don't want him to hear it. I don't want him to know, I don't want him to know about any of this. He doesn't need to. He needs to stay a kid as long as possible, and this is, you know, I'm not trying to be overprotective or anything before anybody, you know, comments that. This is something that, you know, I mean, they were graphic videos that he doesn't need to see. So I wasn't able to fully watch everything. However, now I have. I was not able to find all the information on the police attacks. For some reason, I don't know why. I'm assuming a lot of things have been taken down for obvious reasons. Now, the thing that happened in, I think it's Minnesota, the man who was shot in the car with his girlfriend and I think her daughter. Okay, I watched the video. Okay, here is my opinion about that video. Not even the video and the action that took place. Okay, so he supposedly told the police officer that he had conceal and carry, and he had a gun on his right hip. Okay, that was good. That good. Okay. The problem is his ID and permit were in his right back pocket. That is the issue. Because when that police officer was then told his gun was on his right side, the police officer saw him reaching for his right side. Now, I wasn't there. I don't know if he told the police officer, I'm reaching for my ID. It's in my back pocket. I don't think he did because, and there's videos on YouTube to prove this, that it happens. This is how protocol is supposed to be. Protocol is if you have a concealed carry and you have your weapon on you, what is supposed to happen is the police officer is supposed to ask you to step out of the car if they are not able to disarm you while you're in the car, which is just a lot easier just to step out of the car. And they will disarm you and then let you grab your ID or whatever if it's on your person near your gun or whatever. That is for their safety. They don't know you from Adam. They don't know who you are. They don't know if you're a felon and you're just saying you have a permit. You were nice enough to tell them you had a gun, but they don't know you. They don't know anything. They've not been able to check anything. So they know you have a gun. That's it. That's all they know, is that you are a person with a gun and you are reaching towards the area of that gun. Now, should he have been shot? No. As a future police officer, I am currently recovering from a chronic illness, and I am trying to get my body in shape because I do want to join the police force. As a police officer, you cannot be trigger happy, and I don't mean trigger happy as in wanting to shoot people. I mean trigger happy as in very scared and skittish to where you shoot people a lot. No, I would have had my taser out. That would have been sufficient enough. I would have told the man to stop what he was doing, and had he not, then I would have tased him. That would have kept him from reaching from anything, and that would have solved the whole issue. The man wouldn't have gotten shot. End of story. Now, again, the video only shows so much. We don't know what happened prior to that, and it was blacked out at the end of the video. You hear things going on. You hear, sounds like the cop saying the F word several times. So it sounds like he was remorseful, that he had to shoot the guy. He knew he messed up. That doesn't change anything. If that is in fact what transpired, the police officer was in the wrong. He should not have shot him. However, the occurrences leading up to that is what made him shoot him. Now, I'm not saying that gave him the right to shoot him. He should have had his taser drawn, not his gun. And that is the number one thing that I disagree with a lot of things that happen is your taser should be drawn. If you are within reach, you should have your taser drawn, not your gun. Because your taser is going to stop people, okay? Unless they are some big Goliath person, your taser's most likely going to stop somebody. If it makes you feel more comfortable, have your gun in your other hand, okay? If you're going to be a police officer, you can't be scared of people, okay? It's okay to be on your guard and cautious. That is part of the job, but... Okay, so that is my opinion on that. The guy shouldn't have died. My heart goes out to the family that lost their family member that died. No matter the situation, the man shouldn't have died. The man shouldn't have lost his life. Now, there's a lot of things going on saying it's a conspiracy, that it was an act, it was an act by the government for whatever purpose or whatever. I don't know. I'm not gonna reply to that. I'm not gonna read into that. I don't know. I don't know. So, anyways, now to the Louisiana one. The video angle that I first saw was I think the woman was in her car or something videotaping. From that angle, the police were totally in the fucking wrong. They had him pinned down on the ground and shot him, okay? Then there was, I think the store owner was in the store, and he had even a better angle of it. They had him down and they shot him. From the camera view, the police were completely in the wrong. There's no question about it. It doesn't matter what happened, what transpired before then. The police were completely in the wrong. They had him pinned down. They had him down. There's no reason to have shot him. Now, with that said, somebody who is not even affiliated with these issues took it upon themselves to take the lives of innocent police officers in retaliation. Now, people are saying, oh, well, now that police officers have lost their lives, now you care. No, I cared before. Um, but I sensed that it was an issue, whenever people, said it's are now out there carrying out vigilante justice, injustice rather, against innocent police officers who have nothing to do with it. Let the justice system do what it needs to do. I think it was the sheriff, I can't remember now, I think he was the sheriff, down there in Louisiana. He said that he felt, since he was in command, he's responsible, and he even said that I'm responsible for these police officers. I need to know what happened. They took surveillance footage from the store. They are looking into it. They are trying to figure out what happened. Let them take care of it. And again, my heart goes out to, the family of that man. And now people are posting the picture of him with his little girl and his little boy, and talking about, well, who calls the little boy a nig and their little girl a hoe and lets them hold guns like they are. Does it fucking matter? Okay? Yeah, if you live a life like that, you probably are making yourself a target, for, I don't want to say getting shot by a cop, because that's just wrong, but you're probably making yourself a target for, police harassment, especially in some towns like that unfortunately, there are racist bigots, and unfortunately there are racist bigots in the police force. I mean, you can't weed them all out. That's unfortunate. You can't. There are bad seeds in the police force. Unfortunately, you cannot weed them all out. I wish you could. I wish there was some way that we could test everybody's psyche in a 100% way to know how they think and what they're going to do, but we can't. And we just have to trust that they are going to do the right thing, and unfortunately, some of them do not. But they are bringing up this man's past and his arrest record and yada, yada, yada. That doesn't matter, okay? He was shot and killed by the police while he was down. That's like shooting a man in the back. It's not right. It's not right. And I'm saying this as a white female. So, I get the outrage, I get the anger against those police officers, but don't take your anger out on all police officers. There are police officers out there who want to do good, who want to serve their community and protect their community, okay? Taking out innocent lives, that's eye for an eye. There was part of a quote, I'm going to quote part of a quote, and I feel bad because I can't remember who wrote this, so it's not my quote. I'm not taking credit for this. Somebody put, it was a big long paragraph, but an eye for an eye leaves a nation blind, is how they started off that quote, and it's very true. And I posted on Facebook a comment that apparently one of my friends kind of took it the wrong way, I guess. Her and I met on the internet, so she doesn't know me personally, and I think that's why she took it the wrong way. And I've been trying to explain to her, if you knew me personally, you'd understand that I'm not like that, you're taking this completely the wrong way. I said, if with the incidents that have occurred, not just the police happening, but the two guys who recently got shot, but not only just them, but all of the people who have been murdered, and by murdered, I mean unjustly murdered by the police, whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. Anybody who has been unjustly murdered by the police, by these bad apples in the police force, When there is retaliation from that, whether they're associated with the group or not, whether they're associated with that family or not, whether they're associated with, no matter who they're associated with, it doesn't matter. When there's retaliation, then there's soon to be more to follow. These peaceful protests are going to eventually turn into riots, which some of them have already. And we are, and I said something about, that's called eye for an eye. I said, that's war. I said, so are we at war? Because if we are, I need to make a stop at a gun shop and get me some guns. And I didn't say it like that. I said, I need to stop at a gun shop and, to grab a couple guns to protect myself. And I made sure to use the word protect myself. Me and my family. And I think I know why she took it the wrong way. And she said, well, how will you, it led on to where I said, if I perceive somebody as a threat, I don't mean that I want to carry a large shotgun down the street and become a vigilante and shoot people who I perceive as a threat. Because then she said, well, who do you perceive as a threat, and da-da-da-da, and all da-da-da-da. And then she brought the Skittles and the hoodie and da-da-da. I said, I'm not going to shoot somebody for eating fucking Skittles, okay? What I mean is if we are at war, and all anarchy decides to explode with the political issues we're already having, with the police issues that we're having, with all the other issues that we're having, as a nation, as a divided nation that is only being divided even more. And I'm not talking about just race, okay? So get that out of your fucking head, okay? Because for some reason, every time I make a comment, people are thinking that I'm talking about race. I'm not talking about just race, okay? I know I'm white, so that may be why people are automatically thinking I'm talking about race. I'm not. I don't get it. I'm not talking about just race. I'm talking about everybody. We are divided, and whether you agree or not, whether you understand it or see it, we are. And we are headed towards anarchy. So what I put was, what I mean by protection and by perceiving threats is I would like to have a couple shotguns at my house, because right now all I have is a 22 with no ammo, and I believe that's what my boyfriend's gun is. I'm not sure. I think that's what his rifle is. I'm not even sure what it is. I've only shot the damn thing a couple times. But that's all we have here, and we don't even have the damn ammo for it. And what I mean is if all anarchy comes and there is a war, and I made sure to put, and I don't mean blacks against police or blacks against whites or what have you. I mean any group of people against any group of people. Whoever it is, I don't certainly think I would take a side, because I've got a family to protect. What I mean is if there is a war breaking down my street and people are shooting at each other, that if somebody tries to break into my house for any reason besides refuge, that is a threat to me. And I'd like to be able to protect my family. And if they've got a gun, my knives and my stun gun ain't gonna help. I don't have a taser, I have a stun gun. And for anybody who doesn't know the difference between a stun gun and a taser, a stun gun you do not have to have a license to carry for, and it is the ones that just zap whenever you touch, you push the button and you touch somebody and it leaves the, A taser, you have to have a carry permit, and it's the one that shoots the darts and tases them. Okay, so that's the difference between a stun gun and a taser. I have a stun gun, so I have to be up close and personal. I have knives. I have to be up close and personal. If they have a gun, they don't have to be up close and personal. They can shoot me and my family and come in my house, and no. That's what I meant. And then I even said that the reason why I put that in such an extreme manner is to kind of reciprocate, or can't think of the word that I'm looking for. Pretty much wake people up and realize how extreme this shit's getting. And that's why I put it that way. And but the way I put it, I didn't even really put it in a antagonizing way. It was more, it was just questions. If an eye for an eye, that means war. So are we at war? If we're at war, I need to know, because I'm not necessarily going to take sides, but I need to make a stop at the gun shop, so I can protect my family. And who's in the war? Who's against who? That was my post, pretty much. And unfortunately, somebody took it the wrong way, and I tried to explain to her what I meant by that. I tried as much as I could to explain to her. Me and her have been good friends on the internet. I don't know why she thinks that I don't know. Again, we don't know each other in person, so that may be why she thinks that me as a white person, I'm automatically assuming that it's blacks that are going to be in this war. I mean no ill will towards a black person. I have plenty of friends that are black. I have plenty of friends who are white who are married or in relationship with black people. I have plenty of friends that are white and have mixed children. I have plenty of friends who are Hispanic. I have plenty of friends, hell, I even have family members who are black. I mean, I'm not a racist bigot. And I even told her a story about, cause she said something about a friend, who, essentially was threatened by a white person, because, they said that they could kill her because, they'd be out in a day and a half because the KKK was in town or something like that. And I said, and I told her a story about how I said I was 14, but I think I was a little younger than that. I was in a small town, and a friend of mine who was a little bit younger than me, he was black. We were walking in the town square. The KKK was in town, and they came in town a day sooner than expected. And his dad was fully aware, and he was adopted. His dad was white. His dad was aware that they were coming to town, and this is a small hick town. And they were planning on leaving town while the KKK was going to be there. We were walking in the town square, and one of the members came up to me and said something to the effect of, why are you, or they were picking on him and calling him all racial slurs and such, and giving him hell. And I mean, he's a little boy. And I was about a year and a half older than him, and I stepped in and said a few choice words, and he pretty much said, why are you protecting this nigger and denying your heritage? Something about you don't need to be around his kind. So then I looked at him and I said, I'm Irish, German, and Cherokee, so please tell me how I'm denying my heritage, because I just spoke to you about all three. And you need to quit harassing us, or I will call the police, and they don't take too kindly to your kind around here. And after a few, mean mugs, he left us alone. I mean, we were kids, and he was harassing us. At the time, when you're a kid, you feel older than you are. But looking back, I'm like, damn, we were little kids, and he was picking on us. So yeah. And I try to explain to her, I'm like, look, I know we only met on the internet, but if you knew me in person, you'd understand that I'm not the type of person, and I think you're taking my words down a road that they weren't meant to go down, pretty much. So, and what I meant in my video about the race card is, I understand that it seems like it's mostly black people being victimized, but that's because that's what the media wants you to think. If you just look up, you can even find on YouTube, there are videos of police, unfortunately, the bad apples, they are attacking other races as well. They are shooting other races as well. And when you look up police shootings, it's not just black people. And I understand in some inner cities, black people may get harassed. I understand that. Race is still an issue. And I can't help that. I can't fix that. I'm just one person from Southern Indiana. I can't fix that. I'm not a politician. I'm not in the legislation board. I can't fix that. It's something that we've all grown up with. The problem is whenever they want to talk about white privilege. There is no white privilege, okay? Because as a white person, anytime racism is spoken about or anything, there's something going on like this, I am automatically deemed a racist because I'm white. So I'm privileged to be a racist because I'm white. That's my privilege, okay? And I think that's how that conversation went down the way it did, because I'm white. And that's why my words were taken the way they were. Had I been black, I honestly don't think my words would have been taken the way they were taken. I think they would have been taken a lot differently. Quite frankly. Going further down the rabbit hole, if you want to, shall we, with the white privilege. Any job, any equal opportunity employer, they have to keep a certain ratio of races and such, and genders in their workplace. So as a white female, the only thing I have going for me is being a female. In some aspects. Now, some places, that's actually a bad thing, such as nursing. That actually plays against me, because a man has a better job, has a better shot at getting it, because they want more men in there. They have to keep that ratio. So even if I'm more qualified as a white female, okay, if a black man goes and applies for the same job,